How did I hear about Benjamin Marcus' home? My family and I, we went to a function at a colleague's house, and from the moment we actually made it to the address, the outside of the house was gorgeous, the curb appeal and all of that. And then we got inside, we just couldn't wait to pop the question as to who built this house. We knew that he had been building a house, and he was waiting for it to be fully furnished before he invited us. So we were all excited. And obviously, in the middle of our conversation, we asked him about that, and he told us that it was Benjamin Marcus' home. We chose Benjamin Marcus' home because of everything they had to offer. We had a chance to speak to multiple area builders. They all had pretty good reputations, and they made pretty good proposals. But Benjamin Marcus' home stood out among all of those, in part because of not only the experience, but the quality of the customer service that we received. They were very welcoming. Everybody was at our disposal at any given time to help us with virtually everything. They made us really feel like they wanted us to do business with them, and we felt the same way. I've been to design galleries before, but the one at Benjamin Marcus' home we felt was a pretty decisive factor in us choosing to go with them for the construction. They had pretty much multiple options on every aspect of the house, and we had a chance to physically look at things as opposed to just looking in a magazine. And apart from that, there were times when they would even send us to a sister company if they did not have a sample, or they would order it for us to see the next time around, and that made the process very easy. This way we knew exactly what we were getting, and to the best of their ability, they showed us what it was going to look like in the end product. Despite all the issues with COVID, which unfortunately happened in the middle of the whole construction process, the building process with Benjamin Marcus' home was the best that we could imagine under such circumstances. They still managed to give us the house at a reasonable time despite multiple months of delay. They had the project managers and other company employees check with us and giving us update. They even updated us when it came to some delays in decisions by the township as to when the construction could be restarted. And we had a chance to come to the site and look at things every step along the way. We felt that the process was very good. I think one of the most important things that Benjamin Marcus' home has, at least in my case, that is not necessarily found with other builders, from what I understand, is the way that they actually stay in touch with the customer and make sure that we're very engaged. And the engagement is pretty mutual. And they try to give us a product that's with the standard and the level of satisfaction that we would want, and the quality of the craftsmanship from beginning to end is extraordinary. That became even more evident to us when we started having guests over, because everybody wanted to know who built the house, and all the congratulatory words that they expressed towards the house really make us realize how good a job Benjamin Marcus must have done. We're very happy. I think you can see me sitting here, it's all smile. I mean, when you live in a house like that, it's hard not to be joyful, and even if something bad were to be happening in some other aspect of life, but once you get inside and you realize how lucky you are to have a chance to live in a place like that and call it home. I think that can only bring joy. And getting all the nice feedbacks and having my parents come over, family members, and that there are so many precious moments to be had in this place. I'm as happy as I can get. Favorite part of the home? If I can use the term favorite as opposed to favorite, I don't have an absolute favorite, but certainly I like the kitchen. That's one of the first places I go to when I first come back from work. Gotta find something to refuel and get going. I'm lucky enough to have a wife who prepares wonderful meals for me and everything. So the kitchen is certainly one of them. In terms of a particular room that I've put my personal touch to and that I've received pretty good feedback over, it's certainly the wine cellar in the basement. Everybody who's seen it, whether in pictures or in real life, they really like it. The decor, the carpenter did a fantastic job designing those spots and the lighting in there, the shiplap. I mean, virtually everything in there looks really nice. You feel like you're in an actual cave inside a basement, and it's just so inviting. You want to just stay there and finish all the bottles. My favorite memory in the house so far, gosh, we've had so many. I would say the most precious one, at least, was Christmas time when my father was here. My daughter, my wife's family also came over, and we pretty much celebrated for like 3 days. We did the gift exchange in the morning. We had a 12-feet tree, well decorated, and with the fireplace in the background, with all the lights, with the snow outside. You can picture all that and through the window. We truly felt like we were at some sort of a resort, and the ambience was great. We were listening to all kind of Christmas songs in English, in French, in our native Creole, and it was just wonderful from beginning to end. Home to us is a place where our family can grow, where we can invite the extended members of our family, our friends, where we can gather at any given time and enjoy the space, enjoy each other's company, create nice memories, whether it's for Christmas, whether it's for Thanksgiving, or even summertime as we're planning to enjoy this year. We always have different people coming over, and we make the best of those time, and it truly feels like home. I've already had so many memories here, and I'm hoping to make even more in the future. I have a 5-year-old who's growing up, and at some point she's gonna be able to enjoy this house more. I'm looking forward to having her here with her friends on different occasions. I'm looking forward to using the different rooms in the house, whether it's my office or the great room, just to sit down with her and do homeworks, whether it's in the theater room downstairs, watch a good educational movie. There's so much to look forward to, and obviously we'll be growing old in this place, but yeah, there's a lot that we're looking forward to, mainly our daughter growing up and getting to enjoy the house to its fullest. One of Benjamin Marcus Holmes' motto is, in fact, that your home will never be like that of your neighbor. And I don't think that has ever been more true than in my case, because before I decided to build, I scoured the website and I looked at pretty much everything that there was there. And trust me, there are really a lot of things, some of which I could certainly have used for inspiration. I've been to multiple nice houses. I've driven to all the neighborhoods around here. I see a lot of things that I like, but I've never seen a house that looks like mine in any way, shape, or form. They may have some of the same modern elements. They may share some of the same bricks and stones and things like that. But I've never seen one that looks exactly like this or even close to it. So I think in that way, and I'm just talking about outside of the house. So you can imagine inside with all the little elements that we added, and they always had somebody at our disposal, at our service to help us with customization. Some of the ideas they came up with, some of them we came up with, and even when they would be unpractical, they would try to find a way to give us an alternative and make it work for us somehow. It's been truly a good experience with the customization, to the point where we feel that we want to continue to customize. We've been thinking, for example, of instead of having some of the windows that look over the deck, maybe we could have a sliding door. This way, if we're having a big gathering, we can pretty much extend the greet room onto the outside, just make it one unified room. So that's one thing we're thinking of. And obviously, there are little things here and there that we would like to consider, but as currently is, the house is just gorgeous, and we're pretty satisfied with it. Working with Benjamin Marcus has really been way above my expectation in terms of the kind of feedback and satisfaction that I get from virtually every member of the team. From the very start, every time we went into the showroom, the office manager and secretary, she was always very welcoming. She helped us with a lot of things. She set us the appointment on a timely basis and was very helpful with setting up the utility services for us once we were ready to move in. We also worked with Kayla, who was very instrumental in helping us make some of the choices and selections. Katrina, even during her pregnancy, made herself available to us. She went above and beyond in trying to help our dream come true. Mark himself, he told me that I could call him even after hours, and in fact, there were times when he called me in the middle of the night. We actually became very good friends in the process of building this house. It feels more like family as opposed to just somebody that I hired to do a job. Barrett, who was not specifically involved with the project, at times had reached out to us when we needed help with whatever it was. And I have to give a big shout out to Austin Schwartz, who in his capacity as the warranty department manager had made sure that after we moved in that our needs were still being attended to. In fact, he was here as recently as yesterday, helping us with little touch here and there. The project managers, the cleaners, the painters, the carpet layers, the other companies that Benjamin Marcus Home work with, all the subcontractors, everybody was really good from beginning to end. I think overall it was a very good experience. Something I did not expect during the process. Obviously, when we first started the building, we had no idea that big inconvenience that the COVID pandemic was going to happen. Obviously, that kind of threw us off for a while, but eventually things that we started, and I feel that they were handled to the best of Benjamin Marcus Home's ability, considering the situation at hand. That being said, I think they pretty much told us very well what to expect, and things more or less went as expected. One thing that I did not expect, when I first purchased the land, I actually came here with Mark and we looked at it together, and we realized that there were going to be some challenge in terms of optimizing it for construction, because it was an open field with a decent hill and inclination. But I never expected them to do such a good job with the layout and everything. They had to haul a lot of dirt. It must have been several tons in my estimate, many trucks, and they did such a good job with their grading to actually give us the house the way it is now. We never expected that it was gonna sit the way that it does, with the fantastic curb appeal and all of that. So I think if there's one thing that was surprisingly way above our expectation, that's that. Benjamin Marcus Home has put in place a few things to ensure that things were done to my liking. One of them is the fact that they would check with me after a certain step along the way is completed. And there were times when I would give my feedback, and they would even offer to make correction. I remember a specific instance where a material that was used for an underdecking, it turned out there was some leakage, which was no fault of their own, it's just the quality of the material. And they fully reimbursed me, and they connected me with another company that specializes in simply that. And that company came and they took care of it. So in terms of what they do to stand behind the quality of the work, I think it's really impressive. And they've always stood behind what they do, and when correction needs to be made, they never hesitate to. There's always room to make changes. I certainly would build with Benjamin Marcus Home again. It's hard to imagine how to make this house look any nicer than it is now, but overall, there's not too many things that I would consider changing. Certainly, there are certain things that I would be considering that maybe after our experience would be more of an enhancement, maybe in terms of, for example, the audio system that we have in the house. We could have some more customization, little things like that. But Benjamin Marcus Home is the way to go. No if, no but. You've been to my house and you see what they've done. The quality of the work is impeccable. They're very reasonable in terms of pricing, and they complete the work on a timely basis. And they've been around for a long time. It's a company with a great reputation. You won't be disappointed.